Hello, my name is Bugless Bricks and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be looking at a speed paint I did of Johnny Thunder from the LEGO Adventures theme. This theme started in 1998 and ended in 2003, and it had 4 sub-themes. There was the desert sub-theme, which involved mummies and Egypt and deserts and stuff. There was the Dino Island, which was basically Jurassic Park. There was also the jungle theme, which I'm not sure exactly what that's supposed to be referencing. And there is also the Orient Expedition as well. What this theme essentially was LEGO's way of getting around using the Indiana Jones intellectual property, because this was essentially Indiana Jones, LEGO's version of Indiana Jones. And once this ended in 2003, they eventually got the Indiana Jones license in probably like 2006 or 2007, and they started making the Indiana Jones sets up until about 2009 for anticipation of the Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull movie that was released in 2008. So yeah, for the actual art itself, this is a really rough sketch. This is not the actual art, at least not yet. But this was sort of me testing out what I wanted to do with the character design and stuff, because I wanted to stay true to the character. However, I wanted to do my own thing with this character. I wanted to make him my way. So I did stay true to the actual design of Johnny Thunder from the late 90s and early 2000s, as well as taking inspiration from his revival in the Series 19 collectible minifigure series. And yeah, I took quite a lot of inspiration. This is a photo I took myself of a figure, random figure that I assembled holding a tile, and I simply traced the figure because I wanted to get the proportions just right. And then from there I added on all my own details, and you'll see how my art style comes together in terms of, because I'm more of somebody that likes color and likes the painting process. So that's personally my favorite thing when it comes to art, is like the coloring process and the shading and light process. So as you can see here, just from just my shading, you can see that I sort of go for like a semi-realism and kind of complicated lighting scenarios, because right here I have like 2 light sources. One's a larger one, one's a smaller one. For his design, I actually had dual molded arms and dual molded legs. I also gave, for his scarf that he has, I actually implied that it's tied around his neck in the same way they did with a character design from the Ninjago series who was wearing a turtleneck. So I took inspiration from that and put it onto him, and I'm adding all the shine to the plastic. I could have done something where it was like realistic fabric, but I wanted to make sure that he looked like a plastic minifigure in a sandy desert, because there is a lot of play with texture in this piece, probably the most I've ever done with texture in a single piece. For the map itself, I just grabbed the actual original design from the original LEGO Adventures theme. I didn't really try to change anything about it because I didn't want to mess with like the universe of like the Adventures theme. I think it's nice to keep the original map in there because it shows that this is him on the actual adventure. The landscape in this piece was the most difficult part because it was hard to get something that made it look like he actually belonged in the environment. So this was like a big trial and error process, and here is the error. But I did end up trying again, and this time I studied some reference, and I was able to get something in a better shape. I abstracted the landscape by doing cell shading with various shades of purple against the more orangey tone of the sand, so that way there was like a complementary color scheme going on as well. I love complementary colors, they're probably my favorite. Something else to note is the particle effects that I did in this piece, which are basically like loose sand on his boots, as well as texturing the sand in the foreground and leaving the more further parts of the background a little bit more less detailed, so that way the detail gets lost the further you are. I also added these water stain effects to make it look like maybe this postcard was sitting on Johnny Thunder's desk after his adventure, and maybe he just had like some coffee spills on it. The pyramids in this piece were really difficult to do because I didn't know where to put them, and I ended up asking some of my friends and my cousin and asking for advice and critiques, and I was able to get it in a place like this, and I'm very satisfied with it. So I don't think I would have been able to have done that without the help of everyone who I asked help from, so thank you. This is me playing with the type, but I literally end up changing it back to the original type because there was nothing I was really happy with. I did like that font, but it was just not filling up the space enough, and the original font just took up the perfect amount of space, which I really liked. This is meant to be an actual postcard of Johnny Thunder on his adventure that he, like a photo that he took and printed it on a postcard to maybe send off to a friend. However, this postcard is actually available in my Etsy store. It is printed on 100% recycled paper. There is a front and a back, and on the back you can, write a message to a friend and write your address so that way you can send it off to them. Here's what the back speed paint, I guess, and I added like an area where you would put the stamp. I added the address lines and all that stuff. This is an actual paper texture that I pretty much made myself from this piece. It just sort of happened. I don't know, it literally just happened from all the effects that I was using in Procreate, and I was able to find a way to make it look like paper, I guess. I'm really not sure how that happened, it just did. And there's a photo from the actual listing, and here's the actual postcard. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Thank you so much, and goodbye.